Let's keep it simple. All right. Welcome to the Calendar Podcast, or should I say the collaboration podcast with two of my favorite sisters. I got my Dr. Toya with me today. Kelly Law. She's about to get a law to you, but also give you the school law. Coming through together. I'm just so happy I got these beautiful queens with me today. It is 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, and are you all still eating leftovers?
I am. I'm not gonna lie. I made about 4 extra sweet potato pies, and
oh my God,
yeah, I'm eating them. I made them.
What?
Yeah, homemade. I love them.
4 extra potato pies?
Sweet potato pies now. Sweet potato.
What about you, Ms. Laws? When did you stop eating your Thanksgiving food?
Okay, it's a story behind it. I'll make it really fast.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, I'm new to Florida. I've only been here a year or so. My cousin is up in Lake Mary. He invited me to dinner. I got up that morning. I'm like, Lord, I'm tired. My daughter wasn't feeling well. And I was like, you know, cuz we're going to have to call it a day. So I ended up, would you believe, ordering from Golden Corral. I did. So I laid it. I'm sorry, y'all. I like the sweet potato pie, the turkey, the dress, and all that kind of stuff, but she wasn't feeling well, and I said, you know, we're both adults, but I was like, I didn't want to go around. He has children, and whatever she had, I didn't want to spread it. I'm sorry, but
Kelly, but Golden Corral though.
Golden Corral was good.
Yes,
nothing was open. That's honest to God truth. Nothing was open.
In the South, though, Golden Corral is like,
oh my God,
5-star.
Good. Yes, ma'am. I like Golden Corral. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. I trust you.
So what's your Golden Corral, Tori?
I honestly don't.
What's your Piccadilly's? What's your Ryan's?
Oh, no. If I have to pick and choose, I'm not a fast food eater at all, to be totally honest with you guys. If I have to choose something, it is Chick-fil-A.
See?
Yeah, I'm not a McDonald's. I don't do none of the other ones because it doesn't do good for me. I actually am a holistic. I eat, I cook. No.
Which your 5 sweet potato pies. Let's get it.
And me and my daughter are sitting there eating them every day until and I refuse to make them for Christmas. So and get done with it. Cool Whip on top.
What is the Christmas pie? What's Christmas pie for Black people?
Sweet potato pie.
Potato pie.
For Christmas too?
Yes.
What's the alternative? We gotta have alternative. What's the alternative?
Apple pie.
Apple pie. There we go. Okay.
No.
All right.
That's a big one. Peach cobbler.
There you go.
So then go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get you some cobbler. So all right. Coming through. Thank you all so much coming through to collaborate. So Ms. Laws, what we talking about today? What's on your mind?
Man, I hit up y'all and I said, look, that absenteeism and that doggone mass exodus of teachers is doing something to me. I'm serious. The exodus of teachers is bothering me more than anything. I'm talking about my colleagues and people that I'm just meeting who are, deeply entrenched in education are leaving the system, and they're leaving, not going to other schools. They're done. And that's disturbing.
I'm just saying, like, this thing, like the board gonna teach the kids. Like, who gonna teach the kids? It's gonna be like super sub schools. Like, eventually, it's gonna be Khan Academy teaching everybody. And Mr. Nellum.
Well, I don't mind teaching. This is the thing. I think for me, and I'll go ahead and confess, I didn't return. I didn't. I didn't.
Why not?
I honestly think for me, I relocated. I did. I did a 20-year stint in Chicago. So let's be clear. If you are in education, if you have been in education 20 years in Chicago, you're doing something. Yeah. I did. But from Chicago to Texas were two different. They were different. And I'll go ahead and keep it real. Calvin knows me. They don't like educated and Black down here in Texas. And so I have been at 3 different jobs just trying to get in. Of course, I understand that I might be overqualified, but when you're in education and you have a passion for teaching,
you don't
turn it down. So I'm not even going to go into details. I just want to shout out a few school districts that I will not return to because of the systemic racism that is down here in Texas. I said it and I stand to it.
Tell them, shout them out.
Yes. I'm just saying, there's no way on Mother Earth I was going to work and the people were like, oh, you walk around like you all that. Are we going to do IEPs? Are we going to have meetings? Or are we going to talk about how I walk around like I'm all that? Because I am. I'm not about to sit here and dim my light for nobody. The doctor is there. I can't take it away. It was earned. It is what it is. So just because you have minimal qualifications or my qualifications is better than you, don't think that I cannot do my job. And then if I'm doing my job, allow me to do my job. Don't be upset because you got kids that are saying, I want to see her and work with her and not work with you. Especially our black and brown children. Oh, I'm here. Oh, I've been waiting on this conversation for a minute. Let's go.
It sounds like it was manufactured.
I don't think it was manufactured. I'll give you an example. The district that I moved into, a lot of people moved into this district. So when they put up positions, I was like, let me go ahead and apply for this position because it's a brand new position and I already just left a position. So let's see if it's me or if it's the district. So I applied for this brand new position where they don't even have a blueprint to stand on. It was just me doing my job. And then that's when the stuff came in like, oh, well, you know, you act like you don't want no help. Well, I do need help. Can you let me know what's going on and let me know what I need to do so we can do what we got to do? Or did you just need me to be your fall person for when things went down? Or you wanted me to be your 1%, your Black person that was in administration to get your numbers and get your grants and get what you needed just so you can get funding for your district. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and have this conversation. Because at the end of the day, what was messed up or who was impacted were the students.
And so I guess like when COVID happened, right, you know, equity came about, right? And then we had this whole paradigm shift where we thought education was going to change.
It did.
And it didn't, right? Or we had intentions, right? And for certain states, right, like Michigan, it got more progressive, right? You know, equity-based learning, race-based learning, all these are good ideas. We're trying to implement these things. Where if you're in Florida, everything went backwards, right? You know, Texas, everything went backwards, right? Because when George Floyd died, a lot of people started realizing like this education is not just messing up Black kids. We got a messed up education for white kids. We got a messed up education for everybody. We got the college cheating scandal. We can't even pass the SAT without cheating, right? And so being 45th in education, let's talk about the top 3 reasons why teachers are leaving the education, right? So let's talk about it. So, right, so critical race theory, that's definitely one, right? So not being able to teach the truth.
Amen.
Right? It's hard. It's just hard. This last month, 2 months, getting up, do this job, it's been hard. I've been fatigued, right? You know, teachers have been fatigued, right? We've been stressed too thin. We got kids, you know, running amok, and eventually the body wears down. We tired. And then the number one, I would just say, like, just not being appreciated, you know, just that shark mentality in schools, the admin versus teacher mentality, not feeling appreciated is just like teachers feeling like they're on an island, you know?
Let's be clear. Parents have a lot to do with it too, because parents think that we're supposed to do their job and their responsibilities when they drop them off and then we're just supposed to do everything. And then we get them back and it's like, well, my mama said, or my daddy did, and I'm not supposed to because my mama told me this. So let's be clear. It's not just the administration. It's not just those things. Let's be clear. Parents, you all expect for us to be God sent. And some of us are, but we also have lives. And because we have lives and we have families and we have things that we need to do, we can't babysit your kids and educate at the same time. And so there are some things that need to be talked about and need to be addressed, because these are the things that we're not discussing, which is the reason why I'm heavy on adverse childhood experiences. It is what it is. People are not even talking about social emotional learning, and that really needs to happen, because we have that 2-year stint that kids really didn't learn anything at all. They're hurting right now. And so you have not just the kids that are in high school, elementary school, and middle school, you have those college students that are dropping out too.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ms. Laws.
Oh, go ahead. You know what?
Kelly.
And I think it's so hilarious. He said, it's all good. I think it's so hilarious because right now where I am, and I'm gonna say it, and I know folks ain't gonna like it, but I'm gonna say it because I pray don't nobody watch it, but if they do, whatever. So far, 30 teachers have left my school. 30.
Wow.
And I'm laughing because when I got there to this new school, this school year, they said 40 something had left last year. They were priding themselves. There was only one position that was open. And we were like all excited first, teachers coming.
Right.
Yeah, they had
The
filled
bar's been loaded. It's been lowered.
Yeah.
Can we get teachers? That's been the goal. We got full staff. I'm sorry, Ms. Kelly.
Full staff. Oh, no. Hey, we were full staff except for one person. They were excited and I was excited, but then it slowly started eroding and I kept watching and I said, what is really the problem here? And I said, people are micromanaging. There is a lack of trust. There's such a huge burden and a weight that is on the United States of America and our school system because we're so far behind.
Yeah.
And we're so far behind because we started bringing in, we brought in I'm still going to say, I don't care how people feel, no child left behind, left our kids behind. We were not that far behind before that. And as we started implementing those stupid evaluations and those stupid state standardized assessments, which we took when I was in school, but it was not a requirement for me to graduate. It assessed where I was. They would put me in a group, high, medium, or low, and my teachers taught me. However, now there's money attached to state standardized assessment. There's money attached to Title I. Your failing school brings in more money. There's really no equity. Your teachers are burnt out. We're trying to differentiate instruction with 30-some kids in the classroom.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Okay.
Say it again.
I'll say it again.
Say it again.
On the alarm. We have been trying to differentiate instruction for 30-some kids in the classroom, and I only can differentiate instruction in a great way for maybe about 5 kids at the most. I'm just gonna be real. My mind, y'all got me going in 33 different directions. Seriously. And I'm like, wait a minute, what level were you on again? And wait a minute, we need to have a data chat. Baby, you need to do this. And I need you to have them standards on the board. And when I come in, I need you to do the Pony and dance show. Man, whatever. Y'all can kiss my tail. I'm just gonna be honest. I hope you don't edit this out either. I'm just being real.
And she said that with one breath, y'all.
One breath. I didn't even breathe. And it's crazy because the people that I see are so excited about it, but they're drained about the burden.
So I feel like so we're talking about it. I love how we talking about it, but as we talk about it, let's start talking about it how it was before No Child Left Behind, right? Let's talk about it where it was good, and where teachers were staying in, and then what changed, so kind of going to, you were saying there's money in standardized testing, meaning that we're going to take standardized tests, meaning that they're going to take more tests, meaning that kids are taking more tests, but are they actually learning, right? Are you tapping into their hearts? Are you building those soft skills and preparing them for the real world? Are you teaching them how to take a test? And as a teacher, I remember as a kid hearing teachers saying, I want to teach this test to you. And I remember in college, majoring as a teacher, I don't want to be a teacher because I don't want to take all these damn tests to become a teacher. Because you got to take like 7 tests to become a teacher.
I ran from it, honestly. I did.
I ran from it, came back.
Yeah, I ran from it. I just changing my major to psychology because I'm like, oh my God, teachers don't get paid money and
Right.
I need money. And so I switched it to psychology and ended up getting a master's degree in business administration because I seriously wanted money.
And it's not saying that we shouldn't be able to be proficient in reading, writing, and arithmetic as teachers, because we should, but y'all better pay us
yes.
to do that. You understand what I mean? Because I'm not about to be paid $46,000 to have to differentiate 30 kids, and I'm trying to pass this hard ass test, become certified to get paid $46,000.
That's it.
Teachers are like, that's a scam. You know what I'm saying? And so, well, how as it was before? Because right now in Michigan, we just changed the evaluation system. We took the burden off of standardized tests now. So the standardized test doesn't weigh on your evaluation score no more.
It does here in Texas still. I'm not for sure about Illinois because, again, remember, that's where I came from. But I'm really not for sure. Down here in Texas, I hear from my girls, that test is attached to everything. So they can't even graduate without taking test.
What does that do? What does that do?
Explain what you mean.
I guess like the testing. I mean, I guess is that the main reason why teachers are leaving?
No,
I think they're leaving, and just hear me out. Just hear me out. I think we were doing okay before COVID. I'll just be honest. I think we were doing okay. I think we were doing okay. Okay, just
really?
Okay. Better than what we're doing now. Hear me out.
Okay.
And then the 2 years of COVID, and then it was just a comeback. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, okay, let's work this out. Let's do it. We have to do it. It was like, oh, okay, you guys spent 2 years out. Now here we are. We're just going to keep doing it. We're missing that 2 years of the fact that kids really did not get what they were supposed to get for 2 years. We're missing that 2 years. We're seriously, and remember, our kids are already behind.
So if you're
in the 3rd grade, and you were that 2 years in 5th grade, that following year is 6th grade. So you're missing those big 4th grade, 5th grade, and now you're in middle school, switching classes, don't have no clue, fighting, doing what you need to do to survive, being bullied, getting talked about, all of the things that they are missing in the schools. And I'm being totally honest with you because I see it. I'm the I do special education, let's be clear. I will tell you now, last year in the district that I worked in, thank you so much for the discrimination you all did with me. I actually did my own study. And when I tell you those kids that were signing up for special education, of the people that signed up for special education, 40% of the people did not even qualify because the parents were just trying to put them in just to put them in because they did not want to do what they need to do. It was schools just trying to refer these kids because they did not want to teach them at all. You do not want me to sit here and tell the truth because I will. And guess what? I don't work for education nowhere. I work for myself. So at the end of the day, I'm not ever coming back. There's no reason why I should. When I left and came back, nah, I'm good. They're not benefiting the kids at all. And I don't want that on me or my heart. I love teaching. I really do. But when you have people that don't have the best interest of your students and they're yours, not okay. Sorry. I'm gonna keep it real because at the end of the day, there is no way on Mother Earth we still haven't even had an answer for the 2 years that we're missing. It's like putting up those kids are never going to catch on. Those kids are never going to learn. So they're in the 6th grade and they have a 3rd grade education. So what are we doing? We're progressing them, or what are we doing?
Let's characterize what those 2 years were like for some people who may just hear that 2 years was lost, 3 years was lost, learning was lost. But like, let's talk about why, like what was happening during COVID for kids and why weren't they learning?
I can tell you this. So I'm from Gary. That's hilarious. You from Chicago. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I just moved here a year ago. Hey, girl. Hey, I'm so serious. Girl, I'm Gary, Indiana. And my family's still in Chicago. But I was a behavior specialist in the Gary Community School Corporation during COVID. And one of the things that I was responsible for was attendance. So I created an attendance system. And I literally had to create a system, and I'm not just making that up or trying to be funny. I literally had to create a system. They had one, but I had to come in and make it better than what it was to track kids. So the pandemic happens, we're all online. What happened was nobody knew what they were doing as far as e-learning. My heart, my passion is e-learning. Nobody knew what they were doing. We had to train teachers, parents. There was no conversation with parents. There was no letter that went out that said,
Really?
this is what you do. I'm just going to preach the truth. I watched it, and I had to literally try to figure out where 100 and some kids were a day. Nobody was logging on. I had to do home visits. Parents were, well, I don't know how to log my kid on. I said, you got a cell phone, right? Well, yeah, I know how to do that. And what I realized just a couple of days ago, I'm like, we really think that our kids are technologically savvy, but they really are not. Our kids know social media. They don't know technology like they don't connect technology with education. We lost them because nobody had prepared. Now, I worked at a school that had done e-learning for like years. They lost no ground. They lost none of their parents. They didn't lose their kids. Their scores didn't drop. And this was in Gary. And it was a Spire charter school. I'll never forget.
Technological school. The school that was more technologically savvy.
Because we did e-learning every month.
Okay.
Say it again.
I heard of Aspire.
Yeah, Aspire. Dr. Renee Robinson it had to be the Lord. This woman had us on e-learning way before the pandemic. I'm like, you nuts. Yeah, I said, you nuts. I said, you nuts. And I didn't know how nuts she was until the pandemic. I'm like, they didn't even have a problem. Everybody else did. I'm checking friends around the nation. Kelly, we don't know what we're doing. I said, oh boy, we got a problem.
And just to cut you off real quick, and so the schools that were more pro e-learning, those are the schools that were able to just obviously, right, just be more safe during COVID, right? Those were the schools that stayed virtual. Where we had some schools that you got to go back during a pandemic.
Because they didn't have the technology.
Right.
Schools did not have the technology. No, and I'm serious. I think that's one of the things that Texas has, the Illinois don't. Technology is everything down here in Texas, whereas in Illinois, including Gary, they don't have those things. So even if a computer was messed up, or they didn't have computer technology, or they didn't even have Wi-Fi, how can they? How can they? And a lot of people use that as an excuse because they didn't have it.
Can I say something before you say something, Cal? I'm going to blow it wide open.
I'm about to transition, so blow it.
Okay, so I created an e-learning plan. I think I told Calvin that on my interview with him, my podcast with Calvin. And I gave it to, it was the Lord I'm not making this up. Lord got me up, had me write an e-learning plan. I sent it to Washington. They sent it back to me and said, we don't do that here. Connect with your state rep. I connected with my state rep. She took it, ran with it, and everything came to a standstill temporarily because she said, I can't do anything with it only because we gave out $190 billion to schools. That COVID money that everybody got, COVID relief money these schools got. I'm upset because the money was given to you to upgrade your technology. So I'm gonna leave it there.
And so that goes to my next point, right? The difference between equity versus equality. And so as we close, I got my two sisters with me, Dr. V, Dr. KL, you know what I'm saying? Please follow them on IG. We're here talking about teacher burnout, teacher retention, and essentially, how can we fix education? Because it's going down a really down spiral and we got to change some things. Equity versus equality, right? And so we gave everybody laptops, assuming that we thought they knew what they knew. But because we weren't equity-based, we didn't recognize that you may not know how to, write a document on a laptop. You may not know how to troubleshoot a laptop when the Wi-Fi messes up. You may not know how to connect the printer that's wireless to a laptop so you can print. You may not know how to send an email. You just may know how to turn it on and do 4 applications, right? And when the pandemic happened, it wasn't this pandemic is here is bad. We all affected by it, right? So we all got to be one accord, but the education system is all got holes in it, right?
Right.
And we try to get money. So let's go into the solutions now. Was money the answer? Because we had the American Rescue Plan money, we had all the COVID money, schools got the money, and what happened?
I think, and I'm just going to be honest with you, some of the districts took that money, and I'm going to say it, and invested in themselves as far as their own salaries and things to do things that they needed to do, and forgot about everybody else.
Is that including the teachers' raises they got?
I mean, did a lot of teachers get the raises that they deserved, or did they just get a raise? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because what they also did was gave what, 1 or 2 extra thousands of dollars when they got billions, and they stuffed their pockets up in the administrative web area, and then down here on low on the totem pole, they gave us the scraps, 1 or 2 thousand, to shut us up and make us happy and micromanage us and put us back to work.
So I'm sending nothing but prayers to my sister Toya over there, because she hot over there.
I'm bitter.
And I want you to,
I'm bitter. And I'm bitter, but the reward is thank you, because what you did for me opened my eyes to make me know and believe that everything that I'm doing, it came with me. So shout out to myself. I have my own business. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm still doing public speaking. I'm still doing workshops. Right. I'm still doing trainings. I'm still doing everything. And the thing is, all those parents, all of the students, all of those people came with me. So at the end of the day, thank you. You did me a wonderful favor. You let me know that my passion is what it is, and I don't need to be behind a brick and mortar to continue to educate and implement. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. So let that be the last thing, right? How can we take school past the brick and mortar so we can still take over education versus schooling, right? Because there's a difference, right? A lot of kids hate schooling, but we need education to survive in this treacherous world, right? We hate the school, but there's aspects where you can get educated in there, right? And so I think the agency that you took over, right, being an entrepreneur, Ms. Laws, you know what I'm saying, you coming up with your own e-learning plan, me having my podcast, right? How much should parents, teachers, and even students, right, should take agency over their education? And will that help education maybe? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, and then we got to reimagine what schools look like too. I did a talk about that. We have to really reimagine schools. That we're still on that industrial revolution model. That's what I've been preaching for years. It was mass producing students to go into the factories and to work. The Bell system, all that stuff deals with a factory. People don't know that we have to really reimagine. I mean, do we need to be in school 5 days a week? Do we need to be in a classroom 6 hours a day? I mean, seriously, do we need to be have kids still take science and math and social stuff? Or if we do that, do we need to add other things? Like, our kids don't even know what's happening in our world. I'm so big on global awareness. We're about to be a global society, and I've been preaching this for years. Our kids are getting ready to compete if they are not already competing with the world. They're getting ready to graduate and not even have basic fundamental skills to compete with somebody in India, Mexico, France, Iran, I hate to say it, Vietnam. So I just think that we need to reimagine what schools look like from the top, and then have consultants come in and change it at the bottom. I'm just
call me anytime. That's right.
Oh, absolutely, honey.
Call us. We'll come in and help.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Ms. Toya, closing thoughts?
I'm ready for part 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, what y'all think about this? Was this fun?
I thought it was great. I think Miss Kelly is amazing. Calvin, you already know how I feel about you. You're amazing. So at the end of the day,
thank you. 2,
3, 4, 5. Anytime we have an opportunity to bring brains together for collaborative efforts, and they share and ignite a passion, we have to continue to reunite. And so I'm ready for the next podcast.
Okay. What about you? Ms. Laws, you ready for the next podcast?
I am. And I mean, to me, well,